And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. When we last left off, we just reached the escape pods of the Endar Spire. Bastilla is no longer here, so Carth and us are going to be going down to the planet below. City of Taris. Or the city planet Taris. Last escape pod. The only hope of survival. We could step away from that. No, let's not do that. Let's use the escape pod. Oof. And there we are, tossing and turning in our sleep. And we see a Jedi here, fighting a Dark Lord. The Taris music is so beautiful.
Good to see you up instead of thrashing about in your sleep. You must have been having one hell of a nightmare. I was wondering if you were ever going to wake up. I'm Carth, one of the Republic soldiers from the Endar Spire. I was with you in the escape pod. Do you remember?
So we can go. This is where the game really starts to open up. We get to speak about topics of our choosing, and we get to choose how we treat our companions. So he's just introduced himself and asked if we remember. We can talk about the dream. We can introduce ourselves, or we can just kind of appease his questioning, or we can ask a lot more questions. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to play it kind of like cynical and more trying to assess the situation.
So we've been out of consciousness for a couple of days now, so I imagine you're pretty confused about things, but try not to worry. We're safe. At least for the moment. We're in an abandoned apartment on the planet of Taris. We were banged up pretty bad when our escape pod crashed, but luckily I wasn't seriously hurt. I was able to drag you away from our crash site and all the confusion, and I stumbled into this abandoned apartment. By the time the Sith arrived on the scene, we were long gone.
Okay, I probably should read these out. He just told us that he saved our life. So, I guess I owe you my life. Thanks.
You don't have to thank me. I've never abandoned anyone on a mission, and I'm not about to start now. Besides, I'm gonna need your help. Taris is under Sith control. Their fleet is orbiting the planet, they've declared martial law, and they've imposed a planet-wide quarantine. But I've been in worse spots. I saw on your service records that you understand a remarkable number of alien languages.
Plot device.
That's pretty rare in a raw recruit. But it should come in handy while we're stranded on a foreign world. There is no way the Republic will be able to get anyone through the Sith blockade to help us. If we're gonna find Bastilla and get off this planet, we can't rely on anybody but ourselves. So,
here's where we can start digging into the deeper story. They tell us that the planet we're on is under an authoritarian control. And they tell us that we need to get off, but we also need to find Bastilla. So, we're gonna have to ask, who is Bastilla? Why is it so important to find Bastilla?
That smacked your head did more damage than I thought. Bastilla's a Jedi. She was with the strike team that killed Darth Revan, Malak's Sith Master. Bastilla's the key to the whole Republic war effort. The Sith must have found out that she was on the Endar Spire and set an ambush for us in this system. I believe Bastilla was on one of the escape pods that crashed down here in Taris. For the sake of the Republic war effort, we have to try and find her.
Okay. So, we find out that Bastilla is a Jedi. And that she was the reason the Endar Spire was attacked, we think. So, we can be very cynical and say, how do you even know that Bastilla is even alive? Let's not do that. How can one person, even a Jedi, be so important? And then you have, just quick and easy, any idea where we could start looking for Bastilla, but you can be inquisitive and ask, how are they so important?
Bastilla is no ordinary Jedi. She has a rare gift the Jedi call battle meditation. Bastilla's power can influence entire armies. Through the Force, Bastilla can inspire her allies with confidence and make her enemies lose their will to fight. Often that's all it takes to tip the balance in a battle. Of course, there are limits to what she can do, but from what I understand of her ability, it requires great concentration and focus to maintain her battle meditation. The attack on the Endar Spire happened so fast, she never had a chance to use her battle meditation. Like us, she barely got out alive.
So she's basically a very, very powerful force empath. And can influence battles because of it. And we can just get to, brass tacks. What do you think we should do next?
Bastilla's gonna need our help. Many of Darth Malak's followers can use the dark side of the Force, and the Sith have already killed more than their share of Jedi in this war. Nobody will be looking for a couple of common soldiers like us, and if we're careful, we can move about the planet without attracting notice, a luxury Bastilla won't have. She's gonna have half the Sith fleet looking for her. They know how important she is to the war effort. The whole planet is under quarantine. No ships can land or take off. So, if Bastilla's gonna escape Taris, she's gonna need our help, and we'll probably need hers.
So this is introducing a kind of interesting balance of this thing. We are less capable than a Jedi, but we are easily avoidable, or we can easily avoid detection. Okay, we can be absolute. I can't say that word. We can be absolute mean people and say what's in it for me and if I help you out. And then we ask an idea where we should start looking for Bastilla.
While you were out, I did some scouting around. There are reports of a couple of escape pods crashing down into the Undercity. It's probably a good place to start. But the Undercity's a dangerous place. We don't want to go there unprepared, and it won't do Bastilla any good if we go and get ourselves killed.
Okay. We could continue talking, but I do want to move around and not make this an entirely talking episode. So, the sooner we start looking for Bastilla, the sooner we find her. Let's go.
Good idea. We can use this abandoned apartment as a base. We can probably get some equipment and supplies here in the upper city. Just remember to keep a low profile. I've heard some
low profile, remember that.
Jedi interrogation techniques. They say the Force can do terrible things to a mind. Can wipe away your memories and destroy your very identity. But I figure if we don't do anything stupid, we should be okay. I mean, after all, they're looking for Bastilla, not a couple of grunts like us. All right, soldier, let's move out.
Cool. So Carth is effectively our superior officer, but we're the main character. So we're just going to take these computer spikes and parts, and we're going to introduce another mechanic here, which is the workbench for upgrading items. I want to use the workbench. And we have things that we can upgrade. We can upgrade this prototype Viroblade that we got from one of the Sith on the Endar Spire. And we can introduce the vibration cell to add. What does that do? That adds damage bonus. Cool. And we can equip that. So, we're currently using the longsword, which is 3 to 14 damage with a +4 to hit. And if we use the prototype Viroblade, it's 5 to 14. So, so before it was on a lower end of damage, and now it's higher and more consistent damage, which is pretty good. And do we have any other things? We have our clothing, no belts, nothing else. Yeah. Okay. No, keep that on. Okay. And we can begin exploring. So right off the bat, this is how the majority of the game. You're gonna have a base to go from, and then when you go explore outside of the base, you pick who you want to take with you, and you can have a maximum of 2 people. So we're taking Carth with us, definitely. We could remove him, but let's just go.
Right, you alien scum. Everybody get up against the wall. This is a raid. safety with smart-mouth aliens. Now the rest of you, get up against the wall before I lose my temper again. What's this? Humans hiding out with aliens. They're Republic fugitives. Attack!
Okay. So, we got a bunch of lore there, essentially. That they don't typically mix aliens and humans under the rule over here. And that... what does he have? Power glass, but it's unleveled. And the fact that we're doing it shows that we are from outside of this world.
Ready.
Come on, don't miss. And we got him. Oh my god, this is taking forever. Okay, so this is one of the first Star Wars games that had a lot of extensive use of alien species to build a kind of a wide, diverse feel to a world, make it really feel like it's in the Star Wars universe. So they have different aliens, different voices, different voice lines for different aliens and such. Some of them do get reused, so it does get a bit funny, and not all of them are as long as you would think the sentences will be. So the text might scroll fast or slow, depending on from what you hear. Won't somebody come searching for this patrol? Okay, and before he takes them away, we're gonna rifle through. We get some stems, some grenades, and a blaster rifle. So let's just take all of them. Did they leave anything? Okay, so we can begin. Oh, poor guy. We can do a lot of things here. We can do some slightly immersion breaking RPing, where
Ready.
we are looking around these areas, these abandoned apartments, and trying to find out what's going on.
It's open.
Oh, hello, who's there?
What?
Excuse me, who are you?
Who are you? What are you doing in here? You can't just come barging into someone's home.
Oh, yes, I can. It's a game mechanic. I'm sorry, I was just investigating the area, which is true.
That's no excuse. You can't just go around barging into people's apartments because you're curious. But at least you're more polite than that pig Holden.
Who's that? Who's Holden?
Just one of Darvik's men who can't keep his hands to himself. But all he got for his trouble was a nasty scar from my vibroblade. Too bad I'm the one still paying the price.
Okay, so interesting bits of lore. There's a guy called Holden who tried to get fresh with her, and she gave him a cut. And now she's hiding. And he works for a person called Davik, which we will talk about later and we'll learn about a bit more. Probably ask Carth about it, but what do you mean?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm in enough trouble already. Besides, I don't know if I can trust you.
Okay, and this is why we spec'd into Persuade. It's because you can unlock quests if you get people to speak to you. Come on, you can trust me. Maybe I can help.
Well, I suppose you seem like an all-right sort. When
Yeah,
I
I just
cut
broke in.
Holden, it made him back off, but it also embarrassed him in front of his friends. Holden's a spiteful little hut slug. He went and
Oof,
put out a
big
bounty
language.
on my head for what I did. That's why I'm hiding out here.
So, about 10 minutes into the game, you can decide to just murder somebody and collect a bounty on them. Or you can offer to help. And it is useful to help people in this game for multiple reasons. Money, information, and something called light side and dark side points, which will play into mechanics later. But we're going to be a bit noble over here. We just landed on this planet. We're investigating the area. This seems to be the ghetto part of town. And I guess these people who are downtrodden might be able to help us.
I doubt it. Holden is one of Darvik's men. When you work for the local crime lord, the authorities tend to turn a blind eye. I'm afraid this is between me and Holden now.
Cool. You can offer to just deflate the situation, which is probably the best thing to do. Maybe I could speak to Holden for you.
You could try, I guess. He usually hangs out at the cantina in the lower city. It probably won't do any good. Holden's used to getting his own way. That's one of the fringe benefits of being a goon for Darvik. Working for the local crime lord lets you get away with things. Still, I appreciate the offer.
Okay. You can ask her some questions.
I can't help you there. Since this thing with Holden, I've been scared to leave my apartment. I don't know anything about what's going on in the outside world anymore.
And she's basically telling you, go find the exposition somewhere else. Somebody who's not been locked in their home.
Goodbye and good luck. I hope you can talk some sense into Holden.
And we've had a quest added to our journal. We are going to talk down Holden from his murderous rampage. What's in here? Look, credits are really sparse in this game. Don't judge, please. Look, I didn't get dark side points, so it's not a bad thing. And this is probably where I'm going to pause it for a bit, because the next guy, he will talk your ear off. So for now, I'll see you next time.